What's up, everyone? This is the number one travel junkie coming at you live. And I know I got shades on this because I just walked in the house. Let me take these out. And the reason why I am on here talking to you guys today is because I want to give you a quick tip, right? And today we are going to talk about vaccines, vaccinations, inoculations, whatever you want to call it, viruses and diseases for where you may be traveling to. All right. So every year we do couple of trips to Africa, right? One of our most popular trips is the Safari Collection Tour. We go to East Africa. In particular, we go to Kenya, Tanzania, Zanzibar, right? So one of the questions that we kind of always get is, hey, I want to go on a trip, but what kind of shots do I have to get? Stuff like that. Everybody has this, perception that every time you go somewhere in Africa, you have to get shots. So let's talk about that. Not everywhere you go, not every country you go to in Africa, you have to get some type of inoculation or vaccination. Some countries you have to. So we're going to talk about Kenya and Tanzania. Or better yet, I'm just going to talk in general, and I'm going to use Kenya and Tanzania as examples, all right? So, and then we're going to tell you about what we recommend, from the travel junkies, and what I recommend as the travel junkie in terms of what you need to do when it comes to vaccinations and things like that. And it's a two-part process. All right. So part one, whenever you are planning to go somewhere, and this just doesn't pertain to Africa. This could be for any country that you go to, right? And I just said Africa. What's up, man? I just said Africa, because anywhere you want to go, right? And part one, you need to Google travel clinic in your area. Most cities in America, they have like a travel clinic just kind of wherever, you know what I mean? So just Google travel clinic, right? Then once you Google travel clinic, you need to go to that travel clinic, right? And when you go to that travel clinic, here's why that's important, because that's their specific purpose, a travel clinic. They'll be able to pull up a world map and they'll be able to show you every country pretty much around the globe. The 195 that are within the UN, as well as I think it's up to 212, for those countries that are not within the UN. But they'll be able to pull up a map and show you every country in the world, real time, and up-to-date information. And they will have all of the diseases and viruses that are prevalent in that country right now or in the future for when you may be traveling to. So that's one of the reasons why you want to go to a travel clinic. Now, when you're talking to that travel nurse or that travel doctor, you let them know your dates of travel and where you're traveling to. Now, because they have that whole world map and they can show all of the viruses and diseases that may be in those countries that you're traveling to, Kenya, Tanzania, Burkina Faso, Lesotho, wherever it may be, France, Cuba, whatever. They'll be able to tell you all of the diseases and viruses that are there now, currently. They'll also be able to tell you what vaccinations that you may need in terms of which ones are mandatory, as well as which ones are recommended. Now I want you guys to be clear. A lot of countries, they have mandatory vaccinations and then they have recommended vaccinations. That means if it's recommended, you don't necessarily have to take it. It's just recommended, but you do that on your own, do your own research on that. I'm just giving you the highlights. So you go to that travel clinic, talk to a travel nurse, talk to a travel doctor. They'll tell them where you're going. They'll be able to tell you all of the diseases and viruses that are in that country and what vaccinations you may need. You may need yellow fever. You may need typhoid, rubella, malaria, whatever the case may be, right? Now, that's part one. Now, here's part two. After you've made that visit, then what you should do is schedule a visit with your primary care physician, because that's the person that knows you best. Go see your primary care physician and then let them know where you're going as well. And then also let them know that, hey, you went to a travel clinic and travel nurse, travel doctor recommended that you take this vaccination or this immunization, right? And the reason why that's so important is because your primary care physician, that's the person that knows you best. So they can be able to tell you, hey, so-and-so, that yellow fever shot, it may not be good for you, so instead of taking the yellow fever shot, take this instead, because who knows? We may be on some type of medicine. We may be on some type of blood pressure medicine or diabetes medicine or whatever the case may be. And that yellow fever shot may interact with the medicine that you're already on. So that's why it's important. Step two is important. You want to go see your primary care physician, tell them where you're going. And then, like I said, let them recommend what you should take. Here's why it's also important to go see your primary care physician. These inoculations and vaccinations sometimes are pretty high. Like I've seen the yellow fever shot over the years, $350, $400, depending on what travel clinic you go to. It used to be a 10-year shot, but now it's a lifetime shot, right? So as a result, the price has escalated. So on some of our past trips, I've seen travelers go and get the shot, and they said they paid $320 for it. They paid $375 for it. So here's the other reason why you want to go see your primary care physician. Your primary care physician may be able to administer whatever vaccinations you need at a way lower cost than the travel clinic. And you may be even able to bill it to your insurance, depending on whoever your insurance provider is. So that's another reason why it's also important to follow step 2. So those are the steps 1 and 2. Go see a travel clinic, talk to a travel nurse, travel doctor, tell them where you're going, let them tell you what diseases and viruses are there, let them tell you what inoculations or vaccinations are recommended. Then step 2, go see your primary care physician, because again, that is the person that knows you best, and they can better tell you, hey, this is what's recommended, this is what you need, let me give this to you, and or maybe you can bill it to your insurance. So that is my travel tip for you. I hope you can pass that along. I hope that helps you out in your future travels as well too. And again, I'll continue to drop more gems like this on my channel. So, like, subscribe to the channel, send it out to your friends and family, because that is what I am here for. Travel Junkie out.